Hi guys, welcome back. So we are still looking at analyzing investment options and loans. Now, the last thing that we're actually going to try and look at are these pyramid schemes, right? That people have and people are doing out there. Some people, they work for them, some people they do not, but let's just understand exactly what is this. And when we're going to look at some advantages, if there are any, some disadvantages, I'm sure some of us might claim that there are, and then we'll look at whether you guys can go for it or not. It's not about disproving any scheme because we are not part of, but we are just looking at what the concept is based on math. Now, let's just look at it. So, with a pyramid scheme, this is when investment options, right, that are not ethical and only benefit the initial members of the scheme, right? And you will definitely see with the example that we're going to try and do here what this means. The reason why we are saying they are not ethical is because some people can choose not to take out the money that they need to take out if it is about different people investing a certain amount of money. And then the other thing is these are often unregulated, and in some cases members can be charged with fraud, right? Because you'll find that the initial members of the scheme maybe take the money and they decide maybe not to distribute it amongst the other people or something of that sort. And then also some rules of a pyramid scheme is the members need to make regular investments that are shared at different intervals, right? So this is an example where people are contributing a certain amount of money on a month-to-month basis maybe, or on a week-to-week basis, and then maybe after 2 months they share the money, or after 2 weeks or after 3 weeks. It doesn't really matter. It just depends on what normally happens. And then the other thing is the more levels there are, the more benefits that a person will get from this particular investment, right? Or this pyramid scheme, that is. Then lastly, these returns depend on the growth of the number of investors, right? So how many people are actually part of the investment. Now, an example of a pyramid scheme is there's a founding member who decides to recruit 2 investors. Now, they each agree to invest 1,000 and to be given training, right? Now, they commit to recruit 2 other investors. That's where the trick is. And then at the end of the month, they need to pay the person who recruited them 25% of the total amount in their account. Already, I'm already imagining what exactly is going to happen here, because it's like this founding member is the one that's just going to really be rich. But let's look at the beginning of this. The beginning of this is everyone, in terms of these 3 people, is agreeing to pay 1,000 rand. But remember what we said. We said that at the end of the month, the people who were recruited, they need to pay the recruiter 25%, right, of what they have in their account. So it means these 2 people need to pay this person 25% of what they have, which is 250, right? So in simple terms, it means after they get the training, then they pay 250, and then the person who is the recruiter will then have 1,500, and then the 2 investors are now left with 750 rands. Then from there, the beginning of period 2, which means month 2, what happens here is the initial person still is sitting on 1.5. The 2 people that were recruited are sitting on 750. And then remember how this goes. Each person must recruit 2 people, right? So it means this person will need to give off 250 of the amount, and this one will need to give 250 after training, that is. This must give 250, this person as well. And then lastly, this person must also give 250 of their amount, right? So in simple terms, it means After training of level 3, when we talk about after training of level 3, we are mainly talking about after these people actually get trained, they pay the people who recruited them 250 each, so it becomes 500 rands, right? But it does not end there. Now, the two people that recruited all these people that have now given them 500 rands, they also need to pay the initial recruiter 25% of what they have. So do you see? Although now they have 750 plus 500 rands, right? They still need to take out that money that they have there and subtract 25% to give to the recruiter, the initial recruiter, right? So it's a very, very nice concept. It's a very interesting concept. Let me rather say that, because you can only make money when you recruit. And then I can only make money as the recruiter and the starter, right? Or the founder of all of this, if you recruit more people. Because the more you recruit, the more they pay you, and the more you actually pay me. But what you actually realizing is these people that are recruiting are always getting 250. But you are getting a bit more than 250, because 25% of an amount that is greater than 1,000 rand is always going to be a bit more. You see, so every time you're getting more money as the founder. So after this training, which is the start of training of level 2, right? Of level 2, what does this mean? This person, right, the two people who recruited the 4 people, they now sitting on 1,250. What now they need to do with this amount, now they need to subtract 25% of this amount, right? 25. Let me just rewrite this correctly. They need to subtract 25% of their amount and then give it to the initial recruiter. They must subtract 25% and then give it to the initial recruiter. So let's just quickly look at what this is. So this person is sitting on 1,250 multiplied by the 25%, which is actually 312 rands and 50 cents. So it means both of these people are now going to pay the initial recruiter 625. If you add this to the amount that he now has, it makes him sit at 2,125 rands. This is in a period of 3 months, people, but he only started with 1,000 rand. He has doubled up, and the people that are following him are not yet even at that level. Hence, they always say the more people you recruit, the more money you're going to get. So you can see it will be that 1,250 minus the 25%, 1,250 minus the 25%, and then the initial recruiter, you are going to add the 312 rands and 50 cents, 312 rands and 50 cents from the two investors that he recruited. So now we will be sitting on, when we end period 2, we are now sitting on 2,125. This is the initial investor, right? Initial investor, we can call him, right? Or we can even call him the founder, right? And then these ones will be the first 2 people that were recruited, and then this will be the 4 people that were then recruited by the 2 people. And then period 3. When it gets to period 3, the 4 people, each of them recruits 2 people. Because remember, it's all about recruiting 2 people. So now they recruit 2 people, they recruit 2 people, they recruit 2 people. If we're to work out this again, although we don't really need to, I want you to think about this. If we're to work out this, it means this person will now only have the 750 rands. This will have the 750 after training, that is. This one will have 750. This one will also have 750. All of them will just have 750 after training. Why? Because they are going to pay the people who recruited them the 25%, right? So let's look at what we now have. So this person now is at 1,000 rand, right? From one person, and then if you add another person, it's at 2,250, which makes it 1,000 rand and 250. They also need to take out some money to give to that person. So let's just quickly try and work this out. So the person with the 750 rand, they will get 250 from the first person, 250 from the second person, right? Not multiply, add. Now the calculator is multiplying 250, right? And then from this, they must take out the 25%, which is that 312, and they're going to give this to the person with the 937 rands and 50 cents. And then you see now this person is sitting at that amount. They also need to subtract the 25% to give back to the initial person. So do you see? It's like these people are sitting on the same amount every time, because the more money that the person is actually getting is the initial recruiter of these people. So that's really how a pyramid scheme works. So now some problems that arise with this scheme is it's unregulated. If one arm of this pyramid scheme falls, it means the whole scheme falls, because this person can say, I am not paying back the person who recruited me, and then it dismantles the whole thing. Now, please always remember, you need to evaluate every investment or loan, and then you need to shop around and ask for a better interest rate. And then if a scheme promises incredible returns, it is probably too good to be true. But anyways, we do try these things, right? Because it's things that some of the people we live with and we stay with try out, and then we see how to do this. Guys, I really hope you now understand how to analyze investments, loans, and how to talk about pyramid schemes. But from me to you, that's the end of our lesson. I hope you've learned a lot and you have some things that you're going to try and investigate on your own. Remember, mathematics is food for the soul. Until next time.